Hello, and welcome to the Loveology podcast, where we talk about love and life with laughter. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jason.
He's the carefree one.
She's the serious one.
And we're married.
We have been since 2012, and we like to think of ourselves as a couple of loveologists.
Not because we are the experts, but because we just love love.
We enjoy studying and talking about it, so we thought, let's just start a podcast.
A place where we can share what we have learned about love, relationships, and marriage.
You can share what you've learned, and we can all grow together.
So here we are. Are you ready?
Let's get started. Hey, what is up, everybody? This is another excellent, awesome episode of the Loveology podcast, and here we are, Jason and my wife, Ashley. What's up, baby girl?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. As always. I'm ready. I'm excited for this new title, this new episode. Mm-hmm. Ready to get some knowledge, ready to learn.
Yep. Ready to study love.
Got my notes, got my phone, got everything. Let's go.
All right. How is everyone doing? I hope you're still holding on. Doing great during the pandemic.
Yes.
I didn't get to finish this story, but they said the numbers were supposed to be going down a little bit. So we'll see.
We'll see.
It'd be great if they, just keep going down.
Please. Keep going down.
So like Jason said, we're going to continue this conversation in this very good book called His Needs, Her Needs.
Yes.
Building an Affair-Proof Marriage.
Ooh, affair-proof marriage.
Yes. And we've been talking about the 10, what the author has identified as the 10 most important emotional needs. Mm-hmm. Check out the previous 3 episodes if you are just tuning in to us, because you may be a little bit lost, because we're just going to keep on trucking here.
We'll keep on keeping on.
I originally don't know how many more episodes we're going to do of this.
There's so much it's good stuff, man.
We're just going to slow it down. And
do y'all want good stuff or not? You know what I'm saying? This is good stuff. So if it's still some food on that plate and the food is good, why not keep eating it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. And you're still hungry. We should say that. Like,
yeah, definitely still hungry.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna keep on. We're just gonna keep on and keep it on, and however long it takes is however long it takes. So I hope you guys are enjoying it.
Yes,
I'm definitely enjoying it.
And something like love. You just never can get enough of love.
That's right.
You never can get enough.
Universal.
So yes, definitely. Love is powerful, and it unlocks other levels. So let's get some more of this love. I'm glad we're studying it. Yeah. Loveology. Let's go.
All right. So we're going to start off today with talking about her need for total honesty and openness. So she needs to trust him totally. Honesty and openness.
Okay. She needs to trust him. Totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is because we're starting off with her needs. Like I said, if you listen to the other episodes, and you know kind of what we're doing here, but we're going to do her needs. The author has identified like some needs out of these 10 emotional needs. Women tend to rank a certain 5 at the top, right? So not saying that we don't need the other needs. We just tend to rank these certain number 1 through 5 the same as women, right? These are our higher priorities, and men tend to rank the opposite 5 as their highest priority. But we do need all 10 emotional needs. So even though we're talking about this is her needs to trust him totally, of course that's a man needs too, but maybe he may rank it a little bit lower than, say, sexual fulfillment.
Yes.
Right. Like what we talked about in another episode.
Yeah. Sexual fulfillment is number 1 for fellas.
Yeah. So briefly, if you're interested in taking a survey, a questionnaire, the author has a website called marriagebuilders.com where you can identify what, are your top emotional needs as an individual, because every couple is different. He's not saying that all women are like this. He's just saying in his work, a lot of women, or majority of them, were that way.
Right.
And vice versa. So going back to honesty and openness. Of course, we all want honesty and openness, but I think, like he said, for women, the author, he said for women, this is a really big deal, right?
Correct.
So a lot of a woman's sense of security is found through this, right? With being with her husband. So I'll just quote something that he says. He said, if a husband does not maintain honest and open communication with his wife, he undermines her trust and eventually destroys her sense of security. He tells a lot of stories in his book, and one of the stories that he gave was a couple that, you know, the guy was kind of mysterious before before they got married, and he kind of wouldn't really let his girlfriend or fiance in on a lot of things that was happening, and she had this weird idea that he was gonna change after they got married. But a lot of people feel that way. You know, a lot of people misunderstand things. They think that you know, people will change after they get married. Like maybe he was just being that way because they weren't committed yet, like in a marriage. But no, that's how he is.
Right.
So, you know, that became an issue. Right.
Yes.
The author says that transparency is one of the most important qualities in a successful relationship. Nothing should be hidden from each other. Your spouse should know you better than anyone else does. I agree with that. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Do you think I know you better than anyone else does?
Probably so.
Okay. To feel secure, a wife must trust her husband to give her accurate information about his past, present, and future. So we're going to kind of go through all three of those things. The past is probably the one that people, you know, have the hardest time with, you know?
Because they don't want to put their business out there in the streets like that.
People got skeletons, you know?
Man, forget them skeletons. Them skeletons are dead.
Well, it may make people are afraid to say what happened in the past because they don't want you to think of them in a certain way. So they're afraid of how you may start to view them.
Take me for me.
Well,
if you can't handle me, then, you know, then it is what it is. Eventually, I'm going to show out. Eventually, the true me is going to show itself.
Well, but that could have just been like a horrible mistake that you made in the past, or you could have changed. And so it's kind of hard to, like, you know, I don't know.
I feel you. I mean, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you did learn from those situations, right? That's the whole point. You know, I don't see them as L's or losses. I see them as lessons. So it's like, okay, these are some situations that it may not be your proudest moment, but it still define who you are today. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think it's important for someone to know especially if it's your life partner, you know, to need to know the whole story.
Yes. You know? I'm going to come back to what you just said. You're just so smart, Jason. You could I'm going to come back to what you just said because he actually mentions like what you're talking about right here. Oh, right. Yeah. So, but first, let's talk about, he has a policy for radical honesty. Okay. And he gives 3 very important reasons why honesty and openness are essential in marriage. First, they provide a clear roadmap for marital adjustment. A husband and wife who are honest and open with each other can identify their problems very quickly. And if they know how to negotiate, dispose of them very swiftly.
The problems.
Yeah. Like, you just understand each other.
Yeah. More. Right. So you recognize your clothes are dirty, and then you put the clothes in the wash machine, and now you got some new clothes.
Yeah. The more facts you have, the better you'll understand each other, and the more you understand each other, the more likely it is that you'll come up with solutions to your problems. The second reason for honesty and openness in marriage is that dishonesty or covering the truth in some way is a painful offense. Right? You don't want to feel lied to.
Right.
Some people lie by omission, right? Like they just don't say it.
Right.
He called it lies of silence.
Right.
You know? But you're still lying.
Correct.
But some people don't feel that way.
Why not? It's deception.
Yeah, it's deception.
Yeah. It's deception.
Yeah. Okay.
So I want to call it lying because I ain't lying, I ain't say nothing. But you're deceiving the person, which that's what lying is. it's lying is deceiving. It is deception. That's the core of lying. So yeah, no, you didn't lie, but you did what lying does, and that's deceive people.
Absolutely. So that's a no-go. Okay. Third reason radical honesty is essential in marriage is the topic of this chapter. It meets an important emotional need. So just because it's important because it's an emotional need, and it meets it. Okay. So he breaks his policy down into 4 parts, and that's emotional honesty, historical honesty, current honesty, and future honesty. Emotional honesty is maybe when you're having like a hard time with something in your relationship, but maybe you're scared to say something because you might be afraid that it may hurt the other person's feelings. But he says that people, even though you find it difficult to, express these emotional things, they are very important. A negative feeling serves as a valuable purpose in a marriage. They are a signal that something is wrong. So pain point, right? So it's like when you think about your body, our body is not supposed to be in pain, right?
Right.
So if we have a pain, that's actually a problem.
Right.
And the pain is there to,
give you a signal.
Yeah, to give you a signal to say, hey, look at me.
Right.
My body, something's wrong.
Right.
Right. Let's fix it.
Right.
And then sometimes you go to the doctor and, the pain is just going to be there. But for the most part, you can fix it if you pay attention to it.
Right.
So it's the same thing in a relationship. If something is coming up multiple times or there's something happening that's causing pain, we just need to direct our attention to it.
Right.
And fix it.
Exactly. Instead of like if you break your leg, you're not gonna say, yeah, it hurts, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
We're just gonna let it fix itself out.
Right.
No, I mean, yeah, it can, but it's gonna be very painful, and it might not fix it right.
Right.
Your bone you might walk in differently for the rest of your life because you didn't get it properly adjusted.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's just the importance of saying those hard things, being honest about how you're feeling emotionally, even if you think it may hurt the person's feelings. Of course you say it as nicely as you can, but we do need to discuss it, right?
Right.
So and sometimes feelings do get hurt, but
it's okay. If it takes a little pain to fix the overall problem, then it's worth it. Yeah.
And he talks about, making sure that you're changing and growing with each other because we are constantly changing and adjusting. So, one day I may feel happy and the next day I'm totally depressed, right?
I heard every 11 months we become a new version of ourselves. Have you ever
11 months?
Yeah, have you ever heard of that? It sounded like to me that the person didn't want to say every year because it sounds cliche.
Yes.
But, you know what I'm saying? I think it probably is every year. But they say every 11 months, you're a new version of yourself. So we're constantly changing one way or the other. So hopefully you can direct the change to make it be a positive change.
Yeah.
Together.
Right.
Yeah.
And the only way to get to that is open and honesty.
Communication.
Yeah. Yes. And being honest. All right.
Yeah.
So historical honesty, talking about those skeletons, right? Communicate. Some people feel like that you're only supposed to communicate your past misdeeds only on a need to know basis.
So give us some exclusive. What's some skeletons?
Well, maybe
in your closet?
Could be like, no, I've told you. I've told you like everything. Really.
No, I'm saying for the.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is like sexual partners and like, not living in a small community or something and not telling a person that you were sexually intimate with someone and then they like pop up. Somehow you run into them and then, you're with your husband or boyfriend or something and they're like, who is that guy? It's like, I've heard men say that they just want their woman to tell them like, okay, I was sexually intimate with him. Like, don't have me out here looking like a fool. You know what I mean? Like, just I'm becoming friends with him and all this stuff. And you haven't told me that y'all had a relationship.
Yeah.
Right?
Some guys, they want to know, they definitely want to know if you've been intimate with a certain person, especially if they come around. Yeah, they you want to know if you're in a small community. You want to know. You know.
Oh, we was actually just watching The Brothers and Gabrielle Union and Morris Chestnut were in
the one that came out a long time ago.
Yes, not that. What do it? the movie that you think about is called The Four Brothers, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Okay,
but
anyway.
that one came out a long time ago. The one that you're talking about.
Oh yeah, it was when we were teenagers.
Yeah.
So yes, Gabrielle Union and Morris Chestnut were actors in this movie, and they were a couple. And she had dated her Morris Chestnut's father, and she didn't know this until they met up at, what was it, his mother's birthday party or something,
Right.
and they pretended like they didn't know each other.
Right.
And she just took too long to tell him
Right.
that, oh, me and your father actually went on a date. We kissed, and he found out, some other way, and so now he really upset.
Right.
She should have just told him
Right.
right away.
Right then.
Right away, hey, I had no idea. Me and your father went on a couple of dates. We had a kiss, right?
Right.
Instead of not telling it, and then somehow it popped up again, and he found out. So stuff like that, right? Like, it wasn't that big of a deal, really. I mean, I guess it is, but I don't know. She was just afraid again.
Yeah.
Why do people keep their skeletons? Because they're afraid.
Right. Yeah. And, it was a few things. It was, he felt like, okay, if you hiding that from me, which is a big deal, I mean, whether it's a big deal or not, then what else are you hiding? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
after
she didn't tell him. That's
Right.
what I'm saying.
Right.
Right. If
so she would have told him, yeah, it would have been a bump, right? It would have been a bump in the road, but y'all would have got through that bump. You know what I'm saying? Because you would explain, well, we didn't do this and we didn't do that, and then he may go talk to his dad and say, hey, okay, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Why you didn't say nothing? But if you don't say anything, that bump, turns into a mountain, and sometimes that man don't want to climb that mountain.
Yeah. Yeah. And this movie is very old, so spoiler alert, like they did get back together, but they broke up, and he was very upset, and he had a lot to deal with, and all that could have been avoided if she would have just came straight out and told him right away.
Right.
And a lot of times people are more hurt by how long you kept a secret.
Right.
Like, yeah, this question of how, what else are you hiding?
Right.
It's not what you did. It's
Right.
how long you kept that secret
Right.
from me,
Right.
So, yes. So, so back to what you were saying earlier about like a person just like accepting you for everything, right? He mentions this in the book, and he says, well, maybe you don't really want to be known for who you are. And he says, that's sad, isn't it? You'd rather keep your secret than experience one of life's greatest joys, to be loved and accepted in spite of known weaknesses.
Exactly.
That's powerful.
Oh yeah. Feels great.
That is, like, I feel like we have that type of love, Jason.
Yes.
Like, I know your weaknesses, you know my weaknesses, and I love you anyways.
Give me what's one of my weaknesses?
Oh no, we're not gonna go into it. We're not gonna go into that today.
Because it's not many.
Yes, I know everything you did. You were very open and honest with me about some of the questions, while we were dating. I asked you some questions, and you were very open and honest with me about some things. I think I asked you a few questions that you said girls had never asked you before.
Yeah.
And, you were kind of shocked that
Yeah, I can't remember.
You don't remember?
No, I mean, like, specifically, like.
I have to tell you later. We're not gonna tell your secrets out on the podcast, but
I'll keep your secrets. Your secrets. Go on, sing the other part.
no.
You're safe with me.
So we had a live discussion, like we do every week, right, on Facebook.
Facebook Live,
Yes.
9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific. Join us. Facebook Live.
Absolutely.
Live discussion. Let's talk about it.
Conversations are getting good.
And while you listen to this podcast right now, this episode, go ahead and send us some questions that you have, particularly about this particular episode. Send us a question at loveologypodcast@gmail.com. It will be displayed, and we'll talk about it on a live discussion.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Fun times. So we had a question from a listener about, like, why do women use when men do open up and tell them, like these deep secrets or something, why do women use that against men?
Exactly. That was a question from one of our loveologists.
Yes. And,
Candy, by the way. It was Candy.
yes. So, I think I said then that, definitely that's something that women or whoever is doing that definitely need to work on that, because basically, you want this to be, honesty and openness to be a policy in your relationship. So if you continue to use things against the person, naturally, it's only human nature that they're just going to close down, because you keep throwing it in my face. You keep using it. So I don't know why people do that. Well, we had discussion about the fact that people sometimes are trying to hurt their partner. We've talked about that in the past on this podcast in some of the communication episodes that we've had about not, when you get in a disagreement, not trying to hurt your partner. Like, just understand that you love your partner, so don't try to hurt them.
Right.
And we kind of discussed that sometimes people do that because they're hurt.
Yeah, hurt people hurt people.
Yes.
That's what Francine
said. Yeah.
Francine said that. Hurt people hurt people. I like that.
Yeah. So, I just think that that's definitely something that can deter people away from being honest. And that's just something that you have to fix,
Right.
We have to fix that, right, if that's happening.
I have an idea. A way to help couples bring these skeletons to the table, or, so what do you think about possibly having a come to Jesus meeting, right? Where what you say would not possibly go against you. So it's like, okay, let's just get all this stuff out. Let's air it out. Get the skeletons out the closet. And we're going to have a conversation about it, and then we're going to move forward. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that can be implemented in most people's relationships?
I don't know. It just depends on what person does. Because you may have to have a conversation about it.
Yeah, you're going to have a conversation about it. But, I think it's best for it to come out, whatever it is. I think it's best for it to come out rather than to keep it and it's being hidden from you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think you got to do something. You got to make the deal sweet for the other person to bring out the heavy hitter skeleton if they have one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was just thinking, I don't know, I was just thinking off the top of my head that can kind of help other people bring their skeletons out by saying, okay, hey, we're going to have a meeting. Let's talk about your skeletons. Let's get it out the air. Let's air out the dirty laundry. We're going to go through it, but move after this situation, then we're going to try to move forward from it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I like it.
Obviously, it depends on what you did.
Yeah.
Because if you knocked off my mama, you know what I'm saying? It's some problems, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, it's going to be, so I guess it all depends, but I think it's important to get it out. So you got to make that deal sweet on the front end.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so moving on to current honesty, and it's, self-explanatory. He says, in good marriages, couples become so interdependent that sharing a daily schedule is essential to their coordination of activities. In weak marriages, spouses are reluctant to reveal their schedules because they often engage in activities that they want to keep from each other. So they hide the details of their day, telling themselves what he doesn't know won't hurt him. Or she's happier not knowing everything. I need to know everything. No, I'm just saying. No, I feel like we're very interdependent. Right now we're in the COVID, so we're at the house all together all the time.
Right.
But this is a big issue if you feel like you have to hide things from your spouse about the things that you're doing, unless you're planning a surprise party or something. Like, why do we,
Right.
So yeah. Do you know people that struggle with this at all, Jason?
Just telling everything?
Yeah, just your day-to-day activity. I'm trying to figure out, I've never had this issue with anybody that I've dated.
Yeah. I'm pretty much an open book. So it's just kind of hard to not tell you, because that's a part of our conversation.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we talk so much, because we talk about the things that we've done
today.
Yeah. It's like part of it.
Yeah. So yes, if this definitely need to be fixed if you're struggling with this. There's some deeper issues going on there for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Future honesty. Okay. Some people believe that communicating future plans just gives the spouse the opportunity to squash them.
Well, why do you feel like your spouse gonna squash your plans?
Well,
what kind of spouse you got?
Don't be mean.
I'm just saying, like, it's a team. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, because maybe if you have all of these, I mean, I feel like you have probably felt this at some point. I mean, you've always told me.
I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah. You never had a problem telling me, but I think that you know that it's certain things you're going to be met with resistance.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you just be doing so much and just trying to move so fast and like you're doing a whole bunch of
jack of all trades and master of all.
You need to slow it down, and that's what I'm here for.
That's your spirit.
No, sometimes that's what you need to do.
That's your spirit.
No.
I'm following divine knowledge in a divine spirit.
Yeah. So can you see how that can make a person like you're very like, well, I'm a teller. You're not going to not tell me, but could you see how a person could be a little discouraged if every time they come to their partner with a, dream, maybe for the dreamers out there, right? Yeah. Like
everybody should be a dreamer.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like, dude, no, no.
You not in my head. You don't dream what I dream.
But how can I say this? I'm trying to think.
I mean, you don't know. You don't dream what I dream. You know,
but
it
may not be. I may be able to see something that you can't see.
That's true.
So I may be able to give you a reality check on some certain things, and sometimes people don't want reality checks.
But technically, the only person who can give me a reality check is God. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a messenger of God.
You could be a messenger of God, yes. But at the same time, you can't just come and just squash my dreams as soon as I say it.
Well, sometimes people misinterpret things. Like, people call me a party pooper and because I'm not trying to like discourage you or anything. I just want you to be ready for the reality. Be cautious. Yes. So I actually did. I'll go ahead and give this example.
And it's all because you care. I get it.
Yes.
But at the same time, you don't feel the things that I feel on the inside.
Right.
You don't see the visions. You don't have the dreams. Yeah. Literally the dreams at night.
Yeah.
That I have. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's their journey. But y'all got a journey together. You gotta be like understanding and supportive and try to walk them through this. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily just discouraging them, but just kind of, okay, let's walk through this together.
I'm just trying to give you something to think about.
Okay, that's great.
This is a prime example. Okay. Mm-hmm. American Idol, right? Mm-hmm. They used to, I haven't watched it. Is it back on? Like they took it off air twice, I think. Then they brought it back on, but
I didn't miss it.
But the only part of American Idol that I really enjoyed watching was the tryouts. Mm-hmm. Of course, they would let people who couldn't sing come through there for entertainment purposes. Mm-hmm. So Simon and whoever else could tell them how horrible they were. And it's mean, but my question was always that why hasn't someone told them that they can't sing?
Some of them cats get paid to do that.
Maybe.
To act a fool.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. But do you think it's possible that there are some people that come through there that really think that they can sing?
For sure.
Yeah. So I'm always like, who are the people around them that, are pumping their heads up, telling them that they can be a singer,
But they can. But my thing is they can, and that's just a portion of that's where they at in their journey.
But they can't sing.
They can't sing right now, but you couldn't always research.
No, some people.
You couldn't always research, right? You couldn't always be who you are. You had a starting point at one point. So who am I to tell them not to go through what's set out for them?
Because they're chasing. I'm like Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank. It's a dog. Like
that's how you feel.
No, I've got more I have some wisdom. Like he has some wisdom. Of course, he doesn't know everything. Mm-hmm. Of course, they're wrong sometimes, right? But sometimes they're absolutely right. Like, no,
they right only because they fall into what they put out there.
Okay. No, my point is that sometimes people do need a reality check.
No,
They
yeah.
do need a reality check, and that can be seen as you're killing my dreams or stomping on my dreams, and I don't want to tell you anything. It's like, no, I'm just trying to tell you another perspective, show you something different, and maybe this is just not for you. Maybe you should try something else.
Yeah,
Maybe.
somebody told me when I was at my my previous job, they told me that, man, maybe this job is not for you. You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't work for this company.
Mm-hmm.
And it was at a point where it was at my low. It was at my low in that job, and I could have quit. You know what I'm saying? I could have said, you know what? Yeah, he's right. I don't want to do this crap.
Mm-hmm.
But that was part of my journey, and I kept going. And not only I progressed in that position, I got promoted several times and moved up. So it's like, that's just a part of their journey. You know what I'm saying? And they should ask. Again, we're Christian. We are, we're very spiritual over here. We're Christian. So you're supposed to ask the Lord for guidance.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So if you're doing that, then that's your light. Mm-hmm. The Lord is your guiding light, not this mere mortal.
But what if you're not asking and I am?
Well, now we have an issue.
Yeah, that could be the issue.
That could be the issue. Now, if you're not following Christ, if you're not asking Him to order your steps, then okay, well, you might be going to the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? And your mate could already be asking the Lord to order everybody's steps, right, in the household. And yes, you could have the right way to go.
Yeah.
So I guess let me throw that disclaimer out there. Should have did that in the beginning. You got to make sure you be following Christ. So my thing is, if you following Christ and you asking Him to order your steps, and that's what you still getting, you getting these hunches, these urges to do this, you got to walk your walk at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Your mate will, they'll catch on eventually. It's so many different celebrities and, artists and movie stars, all these people at these high levels that a lot of times their significant other didn't see the dream early on. They didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just gotta continue to march on, and people gonna say what they're gonna say, even your significant other.
Right. Well, the thing is, the reason why this is so important for married couples is because what you do affects me, and what I do affects you.
Correct.
So that's why this is another reason why this is important for people to, that's married, to really talk about their plans, because, you're going to hurt my feelings if you just go out and do something and didn't tell me.
Correct.
And just made all these plans.
Correct.
No,
right.
So, yeah. So he encourages spouses to make a date every Sunday afternoon at 3:30. I'm like, what?
He just picked some random.
The primary purpose of that date is to schedule 15 hours of undivided attention for the coming week, which we talked about in the last episode, right?
Okay.
He's referring to, previous chapters. If you don't schedule time for undivided attention, it won't happen, and you won't meet each other's most basic needs. But another purpose of your date is to review each other's entire schedule for the week. Each of you should know what the other is planning to do, because almost everything you do will affect each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, every Sunday, go over your schedule for the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did an episode about like the division of household labor, and the author of that book is called Fair Play. The name of the episode that I'm talking about is A Woman's Work ? And she also said to meet once a week. And because, your week will vary. So even though you may be assigned to cook breakfast, last week, maybe something comes up for you. You have to go out of town or do early meetings or something.
Right.
And maybe I need to do breakfast. So it sounds like I'm kind of like, marriage is kind of like a business.
Oh, yeah.
And you need to have meetings.
Yes.
And you need to like really plan out and talk about the week ahead.
Right.
So I think that's cool.
We're going to implement that, huh?
Yes, we are.
I already know.
Yes, we are.
Let's get the Sunday meetings going.
Okay, so that's all for honesty and openness, or that's all that I'm going to talk about. Of course, there's plenty more where that came from. Check the book out. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So we're moving on to another one of his needs. And this one is going to be a very interesting conversation.
Come on with it.
Because it is his need for physical attractiveness.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Physical attractiveness?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you think?
It's a need for it?
Do you think this is a need?
You know,
For
I think it is, you know, but here's the deal for people, you know, that's kind of you know, frowning a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
People are attracted to different things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think ultimately it's all about your inner spirit, who you are internally, because that's what going to shine on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So the question is, you know, people are attracted to, you know, good people. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people are attracted to, you know, happy people they want to be around. So I think that that molds and shapes who you are on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that I don't know. So he talked about this a little bit in the book of as far as, you know, people kind of see people who do value physical attractiveness as shallow or immature, because we're supposed to love people for the inside.
Right.
But in reality, like, is that really what's happening here? We do love people. So for me, right? So who you are on the inside definitely plays like the majority of the part of whether or not I'm attracted to you or not. But there is a need for physical attractiveness.
Right.
You know, so it's like, I feel like maybe we just kind of don't want to admit it, right? Because we're afraid that people may call us shallow or immature. But I just think in reality, like, this actually is a real thing, you know?
Yeah.
And he says that when people come across this chapter in his book, people have told him that they kind of lose all confidence in this book, right? Like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, wow.
Shouldn't we be looking beyond the surface and into more meaningful human characteristics such as honesty, trust, and caring? And he says yes, but we're talking about how people rank certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So not all men will rank physical attractiveness, right?
Right.
But for some other men, high. They won't rank it high. They're okay as long as a woman is meeting the other needs.
Right.
But for some men, physical attractiveness is up there.
Right.
They rank it higher.
Right.
So that's why you have to just figure out who you are as an individual and just be honest with yourself.
Right.
And he gives a very good example for people who may be struggling with this, right?
Go for
So
it.
he tells this story about a woman who decided she wanted to get married, but she was overweight.
Mm-hmm.
And so she didn't, and she knew that she didn't want to work. So this is interesting.
Yeah.
She just wanted to find, like she said to herself, I need to find a husband who can take care of me because I don't want to work. I'm tired of working.
Okay.
And so she lost a lot of weight. She started attracting, like, oh my gosh, she became like this beautiful, you know, stunningly beautiful woman.
But why
on the outside.
I mean, she was. Why wasn't she stunningly beautiful when she had the weight?
I'm not saying that she wasn't, right?
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I'm following the story.
That's what he's saying, right?
Okay.
Like, I mean, she was, right?
Right.
But
It's how she feels.
no, Jason.
No, what I'm saying is, if she feels like beautiful, if she feels great, and she's overweight, like, whose standard is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if she feels great about her skin that she's in, then it's gonna show on the outside.
Yes, but
And there's people attracted to that.
I think that a lot of men have a need for physical attractiveness, and they feel that a thinner woman may be more physically
Not all
attractive.
men, though. Not
I
all
didn't
men.
say all men. I said a lot.
Maybe not.
If somebody
It could
is
be half.
okay, maybe
Somebody might not want little sticks and
all
stones.
I know is that all I know
They
is
want a
from,
little meat on there, a little
well, of
cushion for the
course,
pushing.
Like even within the black community and the other communities, typically black men are okay with women having a little bit more meat on our bones, you know?
Yeah.
and like being too, like most black women are kind of like scared to get too petite because y'all tend to like a little thickness, right? So I get that, right? But what I'm saying is, even from her personal experience, she lost the weight and she had men coming at her left and right. She got married really fast.
That's because that's what society has deemed that this is the beauty standard.
What does it? No.
And so more men are under the hypnotization. They hypnotized to that standard. And so they feel like, oh, now you're beautiful. But
first of all, we don't even know what she looked like. We don't know how much weight.
Well,
like
you said she had weight and she lost a lot of weight.
Yes.
So that's all I need to know.
Okay, Jason. But you don't know how big she was and how small she got.
It is, to me, if you feel great in the skin that you're in, it's going to show on the outside and you're going to attract that person.
I understand what you're saying, Jason. Okay. You make a valid point.
Yes.
But
remember, we live in America and that's a standard that's been pushed on us. Right.
Okay.
In some countries, you know, the bigger you are, the more wealthy you are, because it means you have food, you have plentiful food. You know what I'm saying? And you know, some periods of time, they want the big ones. You know, so I think it goes up and down. I think it's in the history of a human life. I think, you know, maybe bigger is better. Then it gets to, you know, maybe 100 years, 200-300 years later, then it's smaller is better. Then it's bigger is better. The thing is being healthy, right? You want to be healthy, but there's plenty of people that are bigger and still are healthy. They just got big bones, is what they say.
Yes. And what part of society and history in the world do you think we at right now?
What you mean? We in 2020? It's crazy.
I'm talking about it in regards to, you said that the beauty standard is because of our society. Yeah. So the point is,
we in the standard where we kind of moving a little bit back up to the big side, because I'm starting seeing the commercials with big lady eating ice cream, you know, in the drawers. You know what I'm saying? I like it. You know what I'm saying? That's good. But even regardless, whatever the standard is, whether it's big is better or thin is for the win, it's still a standard that's pushed on you. What do you feel on the inside? Don't go off of those standards. Go off of what you feel.
But if you've been put, that has been pushed on you from your childhood, and these are the images of thin women that you've seen, that's what you've grown to desire.
Yes, and I agree with
that.
that.
So whether or not you realize it or
not. I
agree
agree that somebody, you know, grow to that, right?
Okay.
They have that thought that they want whatever societies tell you that's what you want.
And it's so ingrained in them that that's just what it is.
Yeah, and the ladies, if you fall into a gentleman that is pushing, if my thing is, if you happy with the skin that you in, and you're gonna attract that person, you're gonna attract that.
So we're gonna come back to that.
Okay, we'll come back.
Okay,
all
right. Let's tell the rest of the story. Okay.
Yes.
So she loses weight. She gets married. Mm-hmm. When she gets married, she quits her job. She starts eating and gain all the weight back that she got off and more, right? Mm-hmm. So her husband was just having a hard time with this, right?
Right, because he married a thin woman.
Right.
He didn't marry he didn't marry her true self.
And she never told him about the weight loss situation.
Correct.
Either.
So
yeah. So
she was a little deceptive with that. It's a little deceptive. I mean, that's a skeleton. That's a skeleton.
Yes.
You got genes. Your genes has got skeletons. You got to disclose all of that.
Yeah.
Same thing with that Asian lady. She had plastic surgery and she looked this beautiful standard because she had all this plastic surgery. But when she had the baby looked like her old self, and her old self wasn't attractive to him.
The baby?
Yes. Then he divorced her because they had.
Oh my God.
They had, in his eyes, their babies wasn't attractive.
Jason, what story is this?
You gotta look it up. Google it.
That's horrible.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's the same thing.
Okay, whatever. So basically, he's her husband was having a hard time with this, and the author of this book is a counselor, a therapist, right? Mm-hmm. And so he was speaking to them, and he explained to her that, like, her husband feel like that she wasn't keeping up her end of the bargain. And she's like, how? I cook meals, I clean the house. And this is what he said. the author says. He says, your physical attractiveness is very important to your husband. So she, of course, was protesting that he should love me for who I am.
Yeah, but you got to present who you are. She didn't present who she was. She presented this facade. And she now my thing is, if you're going to lose the weight and that became your new you, right? We change every 11 months. So now she's this new person. That's what she does. She keeps up with her workout regimen because that's what she wants to do. That's fine. But if you just dropped all that weight just to get married, well, you're going to lose them because of the weight, because that's not who you are.
Right.
Be you. That's even with your weight. Be who you are. Be comfortable in the skin that you're in. Get healthy, but get healthy for you. If you want to lose weight for yourself, not for somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get to that point where you excited to be you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to get to. And you're going to attract that type of person. You don't want a person that's so, I say, whatever you want to call it, shallow or whatever, because they're influenced by outside interference. They're not seeking within themselves and connecting with you internally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard, I guess.
I mean,
I don't know. I know my people out there feel me. Some people out there feel me. You know what I'm saying? Because some people was not born skinny, man. They not.
Well, we just harping because the story is about weight. We harping too much on that, right? Okay. Because it just goes down to physical, like being physically attracted to somebody. Sometimes, like, you see what you see. Like, beauty is in the eye of the beholder,
right?
And sometimes yes, it does have a lot to do with your inner thoughts. I mean, how you are in the inside. But sometimes it is a physical thing,
right? So if you just be who you are in the beginning and stick to that, then that person, that's the first thing they see, right? Unless you blind. So I mean, appreciate for all the blind people listening right now. Don't want to offend, but if you're not blind, I'm gonna see you, and especially if you're the woman, it's easier for the woman. Maybe it's easier. Maybe it's easier for both, because I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna say, if I don't come to you, then obviously I'm not physically attracted to you. But if I come to you and you 250 pounds, guess what? I must like 250-pound women.
Well, this is the point that the author basically made to the woman. So
and shout out to all my 250-pound women. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. It's okay. Do whatever you are excited about. You wake up in the morning. If you could wake up in the morning and you can look at yourself in the mirror and you feel confident, you feel great, you feel excited about tackling the day, then be that. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of big beautiful women out there.
Okay.
Be you, boo.
So this is the way the author explained to the woman to help her understand where her husband may be coming from.
And I'm sorry. I also want to give a shout out to my big guys too. You know what I'm saying? Because we always on the women, but shout out to the big guys, man. If you got that belly, that Rick Ross belly, and he lost it now. But I'm saying, like, if that's who you are, then be you. Be you, dude. You know what I'm saying? Be you, boo, and be you, dude. Yeah. Be cool with the skin that you in.
Okay, great. All right. He tells the woman, but you didn't decide to marry your husband for who he is. Because she said he should love her for who she is, right? He said, but rather for what he did. If he had not met any of your basic emotional needs when you dated him, you would not have considered him a life partner.
Correct.
And if after you were married, he stopped meeting those needs, your feelings for him would have changed considerably. So basically he's saying that you married a man that where physical attractiveness is a major emotional need.
Right.
And she quit her job. He doesn't have an emotional need for financial support. She does. He taking care of her financially. He's talking to her, being affectionate with her, doing everything that she wants.
Right.
But she's not giving him something that he wants.
And I feel you. And that's in this particular story, the woman can control her weight, right? She got down for a reason, and then she blew back up again. I don't know why. That's just on her, okay, right? But what if she didn't have no control? What if she takes some medicine and it swells her up? You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. This he just sees that she's eating, and she just eating. Yeah. She just gaining weight that way.
Yeah.
So let me finish.
Okay.
It said many men think that the emotional needs of women, such as affection and intimate conversation, are trivial needs. Most women think that the emotional needs for men are trivial, but they are not trivial to those who have them. Just because it's not important to you doesn't mean it's not important to your partner. Like, you are okay with this, but they are not. So this book is about meeting each other's needs. So he tells a woman basically that if you wanted a man to accept you for your weight, you should not have lost the weight.
Correct.
You should have waited for the man who was going to accept you
for who
with,
you are.
with your weight. But that ain't what you did.
Exactly. That's she in the wrong.
That's not what you did. You lost weight
to get a man.
You
not for you.
Yeah.
To get a man.
Yes.
To trick a man, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So he says, basically, he asked her, would you be okay if he quit his job and wanted you to work?
She gonna be like, no.
Exactly. So it's the same thing.
I'm with you on that.
So that's the whole point that I'm trying to get to. Like, we kind of went off into, weight and all this other stuff. But the point is that we're supposed to be meeting each other's needs. If you married a man that values physical attractiveness, right? Don't trivialize that need, basically, is what the author is saying. And he shouldn't trivialize your needs, right?
Right.
So if you don't want a man that's all about physical attractiveness, don't get with him.
The keys to marriages is really picking the right partner. You know what I'm saying?
That's one of the keys. Yes.
Yeah, it's a huge key. You got to pick the right mate, because if you pick the right mate, y'all can get through anything.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why it's important to be cool with you. You know what I'm saying? Be cool with you. If she was cool with herself, she would eventually, instead of getting married quick because of what society says is what looks good, if she would have been cool with who she is and be happy with who she was, eventually she would have ran across the right person that was attracted to her weight, all her flaws.
Mm-hmm.
And still, hey, we're gonna work on these things together. What do you want to do to improve for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Weight might not be one of those things.
Right.
But that's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, again, we're not saying that all men have a need for physical attractiveness. Okay. That some men care more about,
No, they yeah, I will say most men do have a need for physical attractiveness. It's just the standards are different for men.
That's true.
all I'm saying.
Well, okay. So what like the ideal, physical attractiveness, that just doesn't matter to them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Some men like just different things.
Yeah, Jason, I was trying to explain to you that, like, I'm not prissy, right?
Yeah.
And I've, some men like their women to have their nails done, like their hair done all the time, and I'm just not like that.
Right.
I was peeping that if you the type of man that want me to have my nails done, we can't be together. Actually.
Dang.
No, because I don't like getting my nails done.
Right.
I'm a tomboy.
Right.
And actually, like, they break. It's just a lot of maintenance.
A lot of money. I'm cool with you.
Yeah.
I was good.
So that I hadn't read this book, but I already knew that I'm just not a prissy woman. I put on dresses, and I'm not saying prissy like in a bad way.
Right.
Right. But I heard this older man one time talking about his wife. She never put on a dress, and he was like, "Can't you put on a dress every now and again?" You know. Well, did you marry? Was she putting on dresses when you married? Maybe she was. But now she not. I put on dresses, but me, I like my jeans. I like.
But
my
that's
jeans.
something that she can compromise a little bit. You know what I'm saying, to help that marriage work.
Right, and that's what this man is saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this author, he goes. We like I said, we spent a lot of time on weight, but he goes into makeup. And even makeup in the opposite way. He said that he's kind of rude because with this situation, because he said a woman came in his office looking like a clown because she had on so much makeup and she didn't know how to do it.
Right.
And some men like their women to wear makeup.
Yeah.
You have to decide whether or not this is what. And some men like light makeup. You do not. I don't like to wear a lot of makeup, and you would not actually like me to put on a lot of makeup. Mm-mm. You like me to wear light makeup. We are very compatible.
Because you don't even have to wear light makeup.
I know. So we're very compatible in that way. Like, it's fine.
Right.
But if I had gotten with a man who really want me to be dolled up all the time, which some men do, they love it.
Right.
They want their woman to be dolled up all the
Cooking
time.
in high heels.
Exactly.
Feet hurting and stuff.
They want their woman in high heels. They want their nails done.
The thong on, cooking some breakfast.
I had a friend in the Navy. He talking about what did he say?
Man,
something?
you can go put that thong on though. the thong. Let me give it a go.
He said something about my hair because I had it in a ponytail, and I was like, "Excuse me, are you my man?" No, you're not, and you would not be my man talking like that. Like I could never have my hair in a ponytail.
Oh, he didn't want you. He didn't like it in a ponytail.
He said something about my hair. I was like, "You are not my man." And you tripping. You need to go find you one of those women who
think about the wrong things, homie.
So yes, that's basically what he's saying. And then, women may have this need too. He gives an example of, this is so gross to me, but this man that was rich, right? He was a farmer, he was rich, but he would go like weeks without taking a bath, and he'll wear the same shirt and pants, all the time. And his wife couldn't, get busy with him. And the farmer was saying, "Oh, I think she just doesn't like sex." And the counsel was like, "No,
dude. You smell like an elephant."
He said the man's smell hit him before he hit
wow. Even at the appointment?
Yes.
Take a bath, bruh.
He always had stuff in his teeth. He wasn't brushing his teeth.
Oh, no.
So he said that's an extreme example, of course.
I mean, I know you grinding, big dog, but come on, man. You got to take time because that's unhealthy.
Yeah,
you
it
get
is.
your teeth, your gums turn all black and stuff.
Yeah. So the author was like, normally he never had to talk to women, of course, about hygiene, right? Like typically we're more clean, right? But he has had to talk to some men about it. It's like, your hygiene is important. The way that you dress is important to her, but I think to any woman that would have been a turn off. I'm not trying to do nothing with you and you ain't took a bath.
You got to run that bath water for him.
You ever took a shower? Nuh-uh.
Come on, baby. Let's get in the tub together. And then jump out.
Ooh,
It's like we're gonna wait till you drain that brown water out.
Yeah. So yeah, he goes into makeup. He goes into like hairstyles, which is funny though. When I do change my hairstyle, he's a little turned on. He like, oh, it's a new person.
Hey. Watch out now.
And I think maybe this is like something that black men, kind of get a lot, like, because we like to change our hair.
Yeah.
Not all black women, but, like we'll just change our hair. We'll put whatever, we just do a different hairstyle all the time. Like we like to switch it up. Right. So that's pretty cool. But he's basically saying if your partner has a need for this, if that's what makes them happy, why wouldn't you want to do it?
Right.
Unless it's just something, like I said, it's important to pick, right? It's important to pick a person that's compatible with you, because I would not be happy if you wanted me to get my nails done all the time.
Right.
I don't want my nails done. Like they just get in the way and all this other stuff. Like
yeah. No, I feel you.
Yeah. So
I don't have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's still good to do that every now and then just to get away. You know what I'm saying?
Get your nails done?
Yeah, to get pampered. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
get your feet and stuff done.
When I say nails done, I mean having fake nails, long nails. So like to have a manicure is different.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
I'm talking about, which I should have specified, but to, get the fake nails, like the pointy nails and all that stuff. They're
the
cute.
Diamonds and stuff.
I think they're cute on women. Like I think, oh, her nails are pretty, but I personally don't want them on my hands.
Eyelashes.
No, I don't want no fake eyelashes. Like I don't want
your
that.
Eyelashes work?
They work just fine for me. I don't like doing all of that. That's just too much. I don't like doing all of it. So nothing against anybody who want to.
Right.
It's fine.
But that's just your preference. That's who you are.
Yes. So the point is that I do not need a man who want me doing all that stuff.
Right.
Because I don't want to do it.
Right.
And I'm not going to.
They catch you at the grocery store. You got your sweats on and you got your stuff on. They still holler at you. Then they get you. Then you need to put some clothes on. You need to look nice. Like, well, hold on, brother. You picked me up when I was like that.
Yeah.
That's what I wear.
Right. Exactly.
Sweats. It's girls out here who wear sweats and just basketball shorts. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Let man be you. Be you, boo.
And find a man that's attracted to that. Right?
Exactly. You gonna attract it.
Yeah.
You're gonna attract that.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
That was like a requirement, because I'm just like, nah, I can't be doing all that. So, so basically, again, if it makes your partner feel good though, like that personal hygiene thing, oh no, he gonna have to fix that, right? She should have been thinking about that. I guess he said that she liked his money and she liked that he was a good person in the inside or whatever. But going weeks without showering, oh no, I can't do that, right? So basically, maybe.
But that's something that could have been, it
was fixed. He did fix it.
But that should have been addressed early on, though. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure he just didn't start it while they were
maybe he didn't know how bad it was. So sometimes people, she didn't know how bad it was. So sometimes people will present like, he brushed his teeth when they went on a date, right? But now that she living with him, it's like, oh no, you're going weeks without taking a shower, So maybe it was something like that, but he did fix it, and their intimacy life became better. Their sex life became better, right?
There it is.
Yeah. So basically, the author is just saying that there's things that you can do to improve your appearance. If your partner if this is a high priority for them, why wouldn't you want to do it if if it makes them happy? Let's just do it, right?
Right.
And you can make some small changes to help with these situations. So yeah. Yeah, and I'll read this quote. He said, if you know how to make your spouse feel good, doesn't it make sense to go ahead and do it whenever you can? Often a wife's attractiveness is a vital ingredient to the success of her marriage, and any woman who ignores this notion for whatever reason risks disaster. So you can rock with this. Like I said, we spent a lot of time on the weight. That's a very taboo. Physical attractiveness is a very touchy subject anyways, because we do want to love people for who they are. But then if this is high on your emotional needs category, I just feel like, I don't know if we should make people feel bad for this being high on their on their list.
No,
right?
I'm not, hopefully that didn't come across that I'm making people feel bad that don't like big women. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that big women are beautiful too. Everybody is beautiful. Everybody is beautiful in their own way. And there's somebody that is attracted to that style of person that you are. Mm-hmm. It's just what it is. But it's all about which style of person that you want to be. Mm-hmm. Which style of person that you're comfortable with. Which style of person that you're in love with. And be that. Yeah. Somebody will love you. Period.
I agree. All right?
I'm good. I know that Ashley don't want me to lose my 6-pack.
Jason does not have a 6-pack, y'all. Because that's another thing. That's a good point, because some women want you ripped and all this other stuff. Right. I don't care about you being ripped.
But you don't want me to have no.
I don't. Go ahead, finish.
I don't. If I stand straight up, you want me to see my feet.
That's absolutely.
You want my stomach in the way.
That's absolutely correct.
And that's fine. But guess what? I'm fine with the skin and I'm in. I love who I am, and that's who she loves. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
But when you was in the Navy, you was a stick figure. You know what I'm saying? When you was in basic training, you was stick stiggly. Y'all remember stick stiggly? Right to me, stick stiggly.
And you prefer thickness.
I prefer a little meat on that bone. when I get done, I want to get a toothpick and pick some of that meat.
Oh man.
Yeah. So when you had the kids, man, I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm happy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I want you to be happy. Uh-huh. Whatever you want to be at, that's what it is. I'm good with that whole range. But not too little though.
Not too little.
Yeah, not too little. Uh-huh. But that range, oh man, we good.
And see, some men like women that's a size 0 too.
Exactly. And no knock on them.
Right.
And no knock on the girls that's a size 0. But if you're not naturally, if you don't want to be a size 0 and you're just trying to get there because you're trying to get a man, that's the wrong way to do it.
Unless you're going to keep it going. Yeah.
But that's what you want. Because in order to keep that going, you got to be motivated internally to keep that going. So that's what you want.
Yeah.
So go for what you want. Be cool with you.
All right. Amen. That wraps it up, you guys.
All right. Great episode. My wife is doing her thing with the research and all that good stuff. I hope y'all enjoy this. Again, If you heard something on here, you got some questions about it, please email us at loveologypodcast@gmail.com. That way, on our live discussion on Wednesday, your question can pop up right on the screen and we can discuss about it. Even if you're not going to catch it live, you can at least catch the recording. So go ahead and shoot us an email. What question did you have about the show today? And let's talk about it on Wednesday. What's up, baby? You good?
I did want to say this one last quote. He said, attractiveness is what you do with what you have. So exactly, like, kind of what you're saying.
Exactly.
Like, you know,
it's what you do with what you have.
Yeah, people are attractive in many different ways, of course, right? So.
You can see it on Facebook. Just scroll on Facebook. You can tell the people that's not comfortable with themselves, and that's all different weights and sizes. It can be the smaller people that may not be comfortable. They want to be bigger. There's some that's bigger that want to be smaller. But the ones that's confident, you can feel it through the pictures. People can feel your energy on Facebook. You can feel it. Yeah. So, man, get to that point where you just excited. You wake up and you look in that mirror and you're smiling at yourself and you say, man, I'm glad I'm me. That's what you want to get to.
All right, Mr. Young Tony Robbins.
Hey, shout out to me. Well, that's what we got. That's it for today, love.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're going to close it out, man. Appreciate y'all. Catch y'all next time. Again, appreciate you. Go to Loveology Podcast and pick you up some gear. We got the plus size leggings. We got the regular leggings too. You know what I'm saying? So we trying to take care of everything. We got some stickers on our page as well. So go to loveologypodcast.com, and if you want to support, just grab some stickers. Get some stickers for your kids. We got some Loveology Podcast stickers at a very affordable rate. So check out some new stuff. We got the grandma shirts too, the big long shirts that the women like to wear at night, where it's easy access for the man.
Oh my
Go
gosh.
ahead and get that for your woman. It's the long grandma skirt, but it's like a shirt, but it's Loveology Podcast. Go check that out. So we're gonna catch y'all next time. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace out.
Bye. You've been listening to the Loveology Podcast. Did you have fun with us today? Tell a friend about our show. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep the conversation going. Be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. Visit us at loveologypodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, Loveologists.